Well, I hope you can see me. I'm here. Just typing up the title, getting the title ready, but I am here, ready to go, ready to go in T minus 10 minutes or so. But we'll start more seriously shortly. Sydney, Australia, amazing. A Habs fan? You a Habs fan in Sydney? Amazing. Are you originally from Australia? Are you an Australian who's a Habs fan, or are you a Canadian in Australia? Vancouver made out like bandits. It's hard because I think they got a really good package, but I will say that often when it comes to trades, they say whoever gets the best player, right, wins the deal. So if you go by that adage, I think that Minnesota got the best player, but I don't know. We shall see. Fan in since 1965. Happy to have you, Karen. We'll see what happens. I've got my tea. I had a cold all week, as some of the live blog, the live stream regulars know, but although my throat is a bit weird, I am actually better, so that's good. And so this is linked up with the Montreal Gazette. So if you want to see game highlights, I post the game highlights like as they happen, like give me a couple minutes to update the website, but I post the goals and the big saves and stuff as they happen, and you can watch those things you can see on our website. So I just posted the link there in the comments. That's sort of how it works. Apple cider vinegar and honey with hot water. I'm not big on the apple cider vinegar, but I do like the honey with the hot water. That is a good. I also do some lemon as well. I'm big on the lemon. Pizzetta starts a line brawl. Hey Ryan, by the way, Pizzetta starts a line brawl, and the league mistakenly suspends two Rocket players who didn't actually come off the bench. Ain't that the truth? And I feel like Pizzetta didn't get much of a break when he was on the Habs, but now that he's a Toronto Marley, perhaps they showing him a little more love. I don't always buy by the conspiracy theories, but I know that after the Habs complained about remember this season when they played against the Oilers and then they complained about the ref in after the Oilers game. You guys remember what happened, and then Caulfield criticized the refs, and then for the next 3 weeks, Canadians were like got way more penalties than the other teams. But Pizzetta's dealt a nasty, dirty hit. I saw the game. Yeah, that's Pez for you. You know, funny enough, the Gazette's own Herb Zukowski interviewed Michael Pizzetta for the Gazette. Not sure why, but he did. I mean, we always check in on the ex-Habs and we see how they're doing, especially when like Pizzetta, because he was such a strange story. Because last year, right? Last year he was there the whole season. He was there all 82 games, but how many games did he actually get into? Like 35, something like that? He never played. The guy played like, 35 by 5 minutes. The guy spent his whole season on the Habs and he played like an hour of hockey. No, that's not accurate. But he played like a couple hours of hockey. He did not play a lot last year, and he just was there all season. And guys would get hurt, and they would just call up other guys, and Pizzetta was just permanently the 13th forward. A very interesting season for him. Now he's with his hometown team, so I guess Pizzetta's a little bit happier. Obviously, I think he would be happier if he was on the Leafs, but the truth about Pizzetta is he's just, you know, I think when he first got called up to the Habs, he showed a little bit of like, oh, maybe he can score 10 goals and be on the fourth line. He had like a bit of a, you guys remember when he got called up, he had a bit of like a weird, unsustainable little goal scoring streak. I think he ended the season with like 6 or 7 goals, and it was like, maybe, but nah, it didn't work out. That was a gross referee game. Yeah, you remember the Edmonton game. Statistically, the Habs have always had more penalties, game management. Yeah, I know. It doesn't help the conspiracy theorists, but I don't know. I don't think it's like a concert. It's the thing is like you don't want to say that it's like a concerted effort against the Habs because that seems like crazy. But then you hear stuff about like, Colin Campbell sending threatening emails for people who want to suspend his sons. So, and he's still around. So you know that there are actually weird things that go on behind the scenes, and I couldn't tell you what they are, but the NHL is definitely a more how would you call it, parochial sporting organization than most. Hey Kelly, how you doing? Eric, clearly Minnesota thinks they have a shot at winning all this year, and they are going all in. I suspect in the not too distant future, Hughes ends up in New Jersey. That's a really important point that you bring up, Kelly, because even Vancouver said when they made the trade, hey, Minnesota, don't assume that Quinn Hughes is re-signing with you. He might still ditch you in a year. So Guerin is making the move for now to win now, and then has a chance next year as well, because I think Hughes is, 2 years left on his deal? So that is a huge risk to take. Not that I think that he gave up some really good players, and Bouillon is, could definitely be a number one defenseman in this league. But the way that team is structured, they've got Faber already. They want to give Kaprizov some more elite players to play with. I think that was a risk worth taking, even if Hughes doesn't stick around. But definitely a risk. There's a Liveblog Superman. That's me. Continues his blog with his illness. I'm good. I know my throat sounds bad. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I attended the office Christmas party yesterday, and this is just me talking too much at the bar. But I am healthy again. I feel good. I no longer have a cold or a flu or whatever it was. I'm good. Finally, Struble is where he belongs. Yeah, for real. You guys excited that Xhekaj finally gets back in a game here? He was playing so well, and then they just stunted him again. And now we got Struble here on the bench. Xhekaj's back, and Engstrom gets another game. What did you guys think about Engstrom? I thought Engstrom had a pretty good game. He did get blown on the second. Was it the second goal? That was kind of him, but whatever. He was all right. The thing that puzzled me with the trade is how the Wild could afford Quinn Hughes, especially with the Kaprizov contract. Does the Kaprizov contract kick in next year? Also, I will say that Quinn Hughes makes 7.6 mil, 7.9 mil. So I think this is, again, yeah, as Kelly said, this might be a very temporary thing. This might be like 2 years of Quinn Hughes trying to make it, and then we'll see what happens. Hi, Karen. We are ready to win tonight. Let's see it. Here, let's get these lines. Where are the lines up? We got the lines ready? I'll get the lines for you guys. Sorry, a bit convoluted here, but as you can see, Bolduc back on the first line with Suzuki Caulfield, Slavkovsky still on the second line, Veleno, Evans, Gallagher. So Evans is back. Renaud Lavoie said that he might have had a fractured foot because he missed, as you guys know, he missed the Thursday game with personal issue. And then Renaud Lavoie said that while he was in New York getting a test on his foot, of course, they're playing in New York tonight. So, he may have gotten a test, but it looks like everything's okay. He's going to play. By the way, I'm just warning you guys, I'm on the Sportsnet feed tonight, and it is, as always, a little bit behind because heaven forbid Sportsnet offer a quality product to its paying customers. Oh, we gotta listen to Triumph too. I guess Triumph didn't announce a tour, so whatever. We'll let it go. Chicken soup. I got Earl Grey tea tonight. That's what we're doing. Metamucil. Oh boy. Hope everything's okay. Oh yeah, and then on so Beck is on the fourth line with Texier Anderson, and then we're doing the Hudson Dobson pairing again, which was very good against Pittsburgh. As you guys pointed out on the Thursday game, the Rangers are a more physical team than the Penguins, who are not physical at all. So we might see a little more Xhekaj tonight. Might see a little more physicality tonight. Hockey Inside Out had a good podcast about hockey sticks. Yeah, I enjoyed that one a lot. If you guys didn't watch today's bonus episode of Hockey Inside Out, um, Chris Nyland and Rick Green discussed sticks breaking all the time and why they break all the time and what could be done about it, and talking especially about Matheson, who Matheson seems to really break a lot of sticks. He broke 3 sticks in the Winnipeg game. That was one. Yeah, they went into overtime, and Matheson had the winning shot on his stick, and then his stick exploded. But yeah, I thought Chris and Rick had some great takes on that. Yeah, very much, Kelly. R.I.P. Bobby Rousseau. Suspect most of you never saw him play. He was a great Hab for a decade. Yeah, we got the news update in on the Gazette website as well. Stu wrote a little something quickly. Did the Buckleys work? I did not use Buckley's. I was using, and not to like pimp some name brands here, but I used the Sepacol, these gross ass candies. I put those in every time I feel a little that worked. That worked a little bit better. Saw Bobby Russo often. Elegant player. Big Saturday night game. And yeah, big Saturday night game. And man, what a big night, what a big day yesterday was for Canadian hockey team. So now we talked about the Quinn Hughes trade, but then also Tristan Jarry. Did Edmonton finally get the goalie of their dreams? God, they've been 5, 6, 7 years now trying to get a starting goalie, and they got Tristan Jarry, who I'm not gonna lie, did not look good. Did not look good on Thursday night's game against the Habs. I thought Jerry let in a couple of real shaky ones. So I don't. know if Edmonton has cured what ails them. I don't know if Jerry's the guy, but because I wouldn't say that Pittsburgh played a bad game. They definitely had some giveaways in their zone, but I don't know. We'll see. The NHL wants to encourage more color versus color uniform games. Is that what's going down tonight? What are they wearing? Smooth skater, part of those big '60s teams, and we don't have many players left from those '60s teams. Even the '70s teams were starting to lose guys, but those '60s teams, like who's left from those? Time time marches on for sure. Go Oilers, but only tonight. I suspect they're playing the Leafs tonight. Is that what's going on? That is indeed what's going on. They're playing the Leafs. Ugh, let's see if I can get the. I can never seem to get the TVA Sports feed to work in my office. I'm just so tired of this. Tired of the slow Sportsnet feed. Deliver me from this Sportsnet feed. All right, on. Hold on. Oh my God, there's so many pops up. Pop. No wonder I can't. No wonder I can't watch anything on this TVA page. There's so many pop-ups. Direct. No, it doesn't look like I can watch on TVA Sports. Why not? I literally am a Videotron subscriber. I literally subscribe to Pelodo. I literally subscribe to your thing, and you don't even let me watch anything. You guys think I know Sportsnet isn't all it's cracked up to be, but I'll tell you, TVA is not much better. Thumbs up to Florian in the big game in the game against the Marlies. Pizzetta took a cheap shot on Del Gaizo, and then a fight swung to the Habs bench after Dauphin knocked out Pez. Great game by the Rockets. Yeah, nice to see Florian's had some big games since going back to Laval. He might be back up not before too long. I guess we'll see what happens. Obviously, Doc's coming back relatively soon, so who knows? Oh, this one we already said. A little disappointed in Pez for that headshot. Neither Dolphin or Belzil left the bench. They were on the ice, yet suspended for leaving the bench. Okay, so this is I did not watch this before tonight. I gotta watch this. Crazy. Wonder who the oldest living Canadiens player is. That's a good question. I don't know who that would be. All I'm asking is Demidov on PP1, please. Yeah, we saw Bolduc. Bolduc's kind of like gotten himself back into the power play, and obviously he's got a great release, but I don't know if we've seen the results necessarily. I wish a media company in Toronto would open up an almost Hall of Fame for players in the NHL who are very good, but not the absolute stars of the league. Just pay tribute to them. The Hall of Very Good. Uh, that would be fun. That would be a cool idea. I don't know who would be like the quintessential very good. Who'd be the very good? I guess if we're talking about like Canadiens players, so non Hall of Famers, but almost and then very good. Obviously, I think Saku Koivu would probably be the 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 most obvious one of a guy who was like just a shade below, an elite player, a very good player, but not a Hall of Famer, but a beloved player. I mean Markov too, right? Markov is another guy. Uh, According to Google, Marcel Bonnet is the oldest living Hab. Where's Marcel Bonnet at? No, he says he died earlier this year, Kelly. So I think Google is a little bit old. Unfortunately. Lemaire shut. Yeah, I mean these are there must be at least like one guy from the 60s still around, but yeah, we're trying to get to the 70s guys. Reggie Houle might be one of the oldest. Ouch to Bernie Federko, but I don't necessarily disagree. Oh, it's the 100th year of the New York Rangers. Josh George is in sort of the annals of the very good Habs players. He was a very good Hab, very solid, no nonsense guy for a long time. I like Josh George's. Oh, we're really gonna get like some 100 year stuff. Podcasted Brody Brazil, who covers sports and had several casts about the possibility the Expos returning. He had Ashkan Karbafrushin trying to get his team back. Apparently, money is an issue. Now, you guys know that Ashkan did a story in the Gazette 2 weeks ago. I didn't post it because baseball related. I didn't post it, but he before appearing on this podcast, he did us first. Um, we did get a response from Major League Baseball, which was no comment. So I don't know what that means, but they're certainly not interested at this time. And Ashkan, who, if you guys know, runs a website called Watch Mojo, which is one of the most popular YouTube pages, makes that good YouTube money. Good guy too, actually. Good. Ashkan's a very good guy. We have some mutual pals who speak very highly of him. Um, he doesn't have the 2 billion that you probably need to like, or even more, the couple billion you need to buy a team, get a team, and then build a stadium in Montreal. Because as you might know, Montreal does not have a place to play baseball. So he doesn't have that kind of money, but it seemed like he was interested in calling to investors to see what was possible. I'm not here to tell Ashkan what he can do and cannot do. He's certainly accomplished a lot more in his life than I ever will, but feels like an uphill battle. But you know what? I appreciate somebody trying to bring the Expos back. It'd be cool. I mean, you guys know it's cool. Apparently, they're winless in these uniforms. Are these the equivalent of the? You guys remember the Canadiens powder blues from a couple of years ago? Did the Canadiens just like play terribly in the powder blues, or they played great? I can't even remember now. I think they played terribly in the powder blues. Oh yeah, we are having a full-on 100-year intro here. Jeez Louise. This game's not going to start till fucking 8 o'clock probably. Mike Rogers, didn't Mike Rogers get that have that 100-point season with the Whalers? I don't even feel like he had it with the Rangers. Whatever. I'm not gonna yuck the Rangers yums tonight. I don't think they might. Owning sports teams requires crazy, crazy, crazy money. Sure does. And oh, Anders Hedberg, that's cool. I want to see Saudi Arabia buy the Jays. Damn, why do you want to see Saudi Arabia buy the Jays? You don't like Rogers? You just don't like the Jays, and you want them to be owned by the people who own live golf probably. Reg Abbott is 95. Damn, and he's alive. He's good to go. Yeah, it looks like oh wow, he barely played. That's funny. But he's still going. Not exactly the most illustrious Hab in the world, but I remember when Josh Georges started, he flubbed a pass in front of his net and they scored. He looked like he wanted to cry and never did it again. Decent man. Galley stayed with him as a rookie. Yeah, Josh Georges just was like just a hard worker, man. And best part about Josh Georges, you remember they tried to trade him to the Leafs and he said no, right? Didn't that happen? Like at the deadline, the Canadiens were gonna like rebuild and they were like, yeah, we'll trade Josh Georges to the Leafs, and he like declined. He was like, nah. I have a Caulfield 22 powder blue. Does that give you good luck or is it bad luck? Are these jerseys good luck or bad luck? I can't remember. If you saw what the Saudis did for Man City, you understand why. Sorry, I don't know anything about soccer. Did they ruin them or did they make them good? You're gonna have to, anything soccer related, you are talking to, I don't know. Sorry. Gretzky is there? You'd think so, right? Or is he is he in Mar-a-Lago tonight? Back then, it didn't take much to win a cup in Montreal. Nah, they were good. They were too good. Yes, exactly. Georgia ended up in Buffalo. There you go. 100 years of Madison Square, the Rangers. I don't know. I guess it's Madison Square. You guys ever see a game at Madison Square Garden? I've only seen concerts at Madison Square Garden. I've never seen a game there. Yeah, did you guys ever watch a game at Madison Square? How was it? Was it good? I mean, they must be. They must have good fans, you'd think. There you go. It's a great place to see a game. Number two behind the Bell Center. Oh, literally 100 years the Habs played the Rangers. That's cute. Gretzky screwed up the name of every city he announced. Oh yes, embarrassing for the World Cup, right? He said Curacao was Curacao, and somehow North Macedonia, which doesn't seem like a hard one to pronounce. He somehow thought it was Macedonia. I don't know if you guys are big Gretzky fans, but editorially, I would tell you he's a fucking idiot. But you guys can, you guys can quote me on that if you want. No one will care that I said that, but he is. I'm so happy about the Matheson signing. Old news, but good news. But also, Fowler needs a haircut. No, he's got a good hair. He's got a good head of hair. FIFA should have helped him know the names weeks before. Yeah, something about that whole FIFA event seemed very not well planned. Is that fair to say that the whole thing seemed like a giant mess? Um, the old MSG or the rebuilt one? I mean, it's this. It's kind of the same, right? I mean, it's the same ish, right? I know it's like they did a lot of renovations, but or you mean like the '60s one, like the '60s Reno? Oh, you mean the '60s Reno? Well, if you saw a game before 1960, whatever, happy to hear more about that one because that's when they did the Reno, right? It was like in the mid to late '60s when they built it over the train station. Sorry, my New York history is not amazing, but hey, any MSG game, I'm excited to know if you went. Three times. Then you get to go out in Manhattan. Yeah, Manhattan's. I went to go see an event there last year and had a good time. Lost respect for 99. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't exactly acquitted himself very well in recent years. His wine's okay. The Niagara wine, it's all right. That's about it. Nice to see the Rangers recognize these old players, but no one does a celebration like the Canadiens. Yeah, this one was kind of weird. They just kind of brought the guys out, which is nice, obviously, but that's all they did. They just brought them out. Before the Four Nations, the Miracle on Ice goalie wore his U.S. jersey. Gretzky couldn't be bothered to wear a Canada jersey and shook hands with all the Americans. Yeah, he's an American. When Donald Trump wants to bring out a Canadian to like pretend he cares about Canada, Gretzky is the happy little monkey that'll do that for him. But ditto the NHL. But yeah, Gretzky's an American for all intents and purposes at this point. He can't imagine he spends much time here anymore. Those Rangers jerseys are bad. You know, for a team that's like barely changed their jerseys over the years, did they really need to do these weird stripped down retro ones? It seems like a weird move, but I won't with my dad, Roger Gilbert scored a hat trick and Montreal still won 5-3. Oh damn, when was that? That's pretty cool. Oh my goodness. We are. It's now 7:25. They still haven't dropped the puck yet. Fucking hell, guys. It's gonna be a late night. I'm gonna need another fucking tea, I think. Sorry, I shouldn't be cursing that much, but a late start time will do that for me. At least Thursday start time they warned me in advance and I could extend my nap a little, my pregame nap a little longer. Neither MSG nor the cavernous billboard that is the Bell Center compare in any way to the Forum as great places to watch hockey. Hey, the Montreal Forum is the most was the most iconic cathedral of hockey for a reason. There'll never be another Montreal Forum, but I will say that when I was a kid and my parents could only afford to go to a game like once a year or so, I usually sat in the obstructed seat and I could not see anything. So as much as the ambiance of going to see a game at the Forum was beyond compare, I did have a lot of crummy hockey experiences at the Forum because my parents could only get me the obstructed seats at the top. But but it was still unforgettable memories, and I love it. And when I did get a good seat, it was amazing. There was a couple of times where I did get a half decent seat, and it was awesome. Okay, finally, first period underway. Mercifully, we are going. And yes, as just warning you guys now, I'm on the Sportsnet feed tonight, and it is about a minute behind, so forget this. Hate this. Okay, so they're good. I get you. I get you. Nice save by Fowler. Very poised on that. I mean, so far his movement seems really good. Hold on, I wanted to get to what Ryan said here about Normal Flynn today saying that Giroux should make the team over Suzuki. He did literally say that. Oh, Zabanajad right in front stopped, but Fowler lost his stick. Oh boy. Okay, the Canadiens were able to get it out at least. Oh, they were not. Nah, they were able to get it out finally. Why did Demidov not shoot, guys? Oh, there you go. Slavkovsky with a nice redirect in front. I mean, those two do so much damage together, but come on, Demidov. Please shoot. You had a wide open net, and you still passed to the guy who was getting blocked in the slot. Normal Flynn covers the Sens for RDS. How many Sens games do they do? Whatever, it's a good, decent gig, I guess, but that would explain why he thinks Giroux is amazing. 38, 39-year-old Claude Giroux. Yeah, let's play him over a 26-year-old center in his prime. And I like Giroux. I'm not even bad mouthing Giroux, but like ridiculous. Ooh. I mean, so far Fowler's been really good at not giving up rebounds, which is good because the Rangers have spent most of the time in the zone so far. Very nice play by Miller, JT Miller at the point. Yeah, two chances by the Rangers there. And then here, looking at the replay, man. Oh, Davidov never even looked at the net. He was looking to pass the whole time. Terrible. Yes, this was Normal Flynn's claim to fame at this point that he did indeed once suggest they trade Suzuki for Wayne Simmons. And I'm not gonna lie to you, if you look at like the history of Canadians trades in like the 90s and 2000s, those were the kind of trades they like to make. They like to trade talented players for bums, and that that was the strategy every year. They did not like having young players on the roster was like burning a hole in their pocket. Hey, Blue. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about the Pez Laval game earlier. I gotta check that out. Ooh, Hudson hit hard by Trocheck in the corner, and the Habs turn it over yet again. But so far the Rangers have spent a lot of time in the zone, but I can't say that they've had like a ton of. They do spend a lot of time on the outside, I will say. So the Rangers are 6-0 and 2 against the Habs the last 8 games. There you go. Susie kind of lost it, and wow, Suzuki went flying after the puck, but the goalie had to come out and play it. Could have been an interesting chance there. Yeah, Bolduc had Gallagher give him an autograph as a kid, and now they're teammates. That doesn't make you feel old at all, right, Brendan? Oh yeah, Lafreniere. What do you guys think about him? They always talk about him as like a. I don't think he's a trade candidate. I think they're happily stuck with him. He's having okay season. He's got 17 points this year, but he's another. He's a. You guys talk about like Slavkovsky. I see a lot of parallels with those two guys, but I think Slavkovsky's a better player than Lafreniere, which is funny because I think if the Canadians had they won that lottery and got Lafreniere, I feel like the hype would have been like crazy in Montreal. I don't know if he ever would have made it. There must be some reason Valeno's in the lineup. Faceoff wins. Yeah, he's literally just in because he's a left-handed center, and they don't have any other left-handed centers in the lineup right now. Newhook was the only guy who could kind of fake it, and now obviously he's out, so they need Valeno in the lineup because St. Louis will occasionally want the strong weak side matchup. Ooh, nice turnover by the Habs, and Slavkovsky missed his shot just wide. Lafreniere was not a generational talent. No, he's not. He's a good player. They signed him to a long-term deal. You got to take what you can get sometimes with these guys, but yeah, I feel like had he been drafted by the Habs, they would have expected a generational talent, and it never would have worked out. Losing too many board battles here. You know what? We said it on the game against the Penguins that the Rangers were going to be a more physical matchup, and so far that I think they have been. They are a bigger, stronger team than the Penguins are. We are 12:20 left in the first period, and the Habs don't have a shot on goal yet. That's pretty bad. And then Susie came in down from the point, and he nearly tipped that one in. That was going to be an easy tap in for him, an empty net, but the puck was floating, so it wasn't an easy one. Fourth line's been out for. Actually, the Valeno Evans line is technically the third line. Third line's been out for well over a minute 20 so far. Brutal. Well, we would have had the first shot on the goal there. Bolduc streaking. Suzuki sent him in alone, and then Bolduc was streaking down the left side, and he missed it wide. Got a very late offside call. Suzuki's a little confused as to what's going on, but yeah, it was a very late offside call. You're watching the American feed of the game. Nice compliment of the Habs youth rebuild. Yeah, I think the league notices that the Canadiens have amassed a very nice stable of talent here, but I feel like Habs fans are definitely starting to feel like, hey, when are we taking the next step here? Like we've drafted these guys, we got these guys. When's the next level here? Slav will be one of our best. Give him some development time. He's just a kid. Karen, I think literally in the last 2 months we've seen the last month. I think for sure we've seen Slav reach another level. I think people are pretty. Even we had some skeptics on here, and I feel like even they are starting to be like, okay, Slav's a good player. Habs must be playing rope a dope. Yeah, lots of when they have the puck, lots of passing, not a lot of shooting. If they continue to play this way in their own end tonight, I feel sorry for Fowler. Yeah, luckily for Fowler, he's good. He doesn't give up a lot of. He doesn't give up a lot of rebounds, or so far hasn't in his career. But it'd be very unfortunate if they kind of leave him hanging out to dry again. Fans have to have patience still. Lots of young players coming. For sure, for sure. They still have a lot. I mean, Demidov is still a rookie, hasn't even played 40 games in this league yet. Reinbacker hasn't, was a big pick for them, hasn't even played a game yet. So Jacob Fowler just got called up, this week. So, like, a bunch of the guys that they think are going to help them win a cup have only just arrived or haven't arrived yet. So, very interesting. 4 shots in 10 minutes isn't tough for a goalie. Yeah, he hasn't had to deal with much so far, but also the Rangers goalie has dealt with even less. I wish I could find a live feed on YouTube. I wish I could show you the game. Unfortunately, I am legally unable to do so, and the NHL lawyers would attack me very fast. And I feel like those, you can hit up some creepy Russian websites, and you get what you pay for from those guys. Unfortunately, All right, come on. Demidov up the rush. How about you shoot the puck if you can? Puck very quickly goes up the ice again, and the Rangers are once again in deep and down low where they're absolutely dominating tonight, as Max pointed out. Kapanen with just a real simple clear there, but it worked. All right, here we go. Josh Anderson with a little bit. Come on, show some legs, bud. Hey, got a nice shot. I mean, typical Anderson kind of shot it over the net, but caused a little bit of chaos for a little bit. But unfortunately, once again, puck immediately goes down the ice. This has reminded me a little bit of that, unfortunately, of the Avalanche game, where the Avalanche were just so good in transition that the Canadiens could never have any sustained time in the offensive zone. And that's what's kind of happening right now. The Canadiens are coming in off the rush. They're getting their one chance. They're missing. And then the Rangers are taking it up the ice. Very nice save by Fowler there. Yeah, Gary Galley, a rare correct comment from him there. The Habs got to watch the turnovers. The Rangers are too fast. You don't want to give them opportunities like that. Man, Connor Sheary all alone. Basically, three Canadians can't get the puck out of the zone. And Connor Sheary is the only guy there just skating around. Oof. Bold Duke's shot from the point blocked. And once again, puck out of the zone real fast. Hey, nice goal. As you guys noticed. Yeah. Well, there you go. It's 1-0 Habs. As you guys, sorry, I'm on the goddamn Sportsnet feed. I saw you guys already posting it, and I was like, wait, I'll get there in 30 seconds, guys. Beautiful pass by Suzuki to Bolduc, who was right in front, and he just got the little one-touch little tip in a wide open net. Goalie cheating like crazy on that play. Don't know why. All it, I like this. All it takes is one good shot. Well, that's all I got. One shot. Efficient. There you go. 100%. Oh, we got a Rangers fan. Oh, Panarin to Zibanejad off the rush. Really nice chance. Here we go. We got a 2-on-1. Texier and Anderson. Texier, man, He feathered a real tight pass there, but it was nice. Xhekaj from the point. First goal since 2024. Unbelievable. What a fast man! Things were going nowhere, and then just like that, it's 2-0, and Arber Xhekaj's got a goal. And Suzuki with one right off the post. Wow, this is going fast. So 2 shots, 2 goals. Two shots, 2 goals, and a post. Not bad. I like this. In your face, Marty. I hope the guys on the bench had a good laugh over that goal. Uh-oh, he'll be benched. Yeah, you're not here to score. Big post, Suzuki. Xhekaj does a good job getting that puck through. Underrated talent of his. They need to use it more. He's actually very good at getting the puck through. I guess he just hasn't had that many chances in the offensive zone to really do it. Watch the momentum shift. Yeah, I mean, it was all Rangers in the first 10 minutes of this game, and suddenly, totally different. I mean, good for Fowler. Fowler's actually going to be dealing with a 2-goal lead here again. I mean, he had a 3-goal lead last game, so another chance in the offensive zone for the Habs. Arber can shoot. He just has been told to work on defense, forget offense. That's totally what's happened. He's kind of like forgotten that part of his game. Mr. Healthy Scratch. Yeah, I like that. Dreaded 2-goal lead. Yeah, they need a third one. Let's do it. Keep the pressure up. I like this one. New game plan. Don't shoot for 12 minutes. Goalie falls asleep, then score. So question, depending on a positive outcome, has Fowler earned his spot full time. Uh, I think right now they've got three goalies in the lineup. Dobesh can still go down to the minors and not go through waivers. If Montembeault goes down to the minors, it's through waivers. I think, I mean, Fowler's playing tonight. I mean, if he has a great night tonight, do they send Dobesh down? Is that the plan? They're not in a position where they can afford to like send Fowler down and then try it again with the two goalies that weren't working. I think they've just got to ride Fowler, and Fowler is likely heading down to Laval. Do you think so? But they haven't fixed the other goalie problem yet. I think if Fowler keeps playing well, I think they're gonna have to send Dobesh down. That seems to be, but they got to ride the hot hand. Pretty small sample size, Rick, to go that far. I mean, it's totally like a hot hand thing, right? Like I can't tell you what's gonna happen in the future. I can't tell you that Fowler's job is sealed here, but I think here Max said it perfectly. You have to ride them as long as you can. They know what the other goalies can do right now. They're not. Neither of them are right. Neither of them are playing well. So they just have to like. They got to just like keep Fowler until either one of the other goalies fixes themselves or Fowler starts to stumble. Three goalies was. Oh yeah, hold on. I missed a little couple things here. 2 games, 2 wins. That's 100%. Well, he hasn't. It's the first period of this game. Don't be jinxing us yet. Don't be jinxing us yet. 23rd is the no movement date. Oh yes, the holiday season. Allen's still playing well. You mean Jake Allen? Yeah, Jake Allen's a good goalie. Is Monty trade bait? I mean, somebody would have to want him. And I just feel like other teams are probably in like wait and see mode. Also, Edmonton, the team that was long rumored to be interested, did finally pull the trigger on Tristan Jarry, so they're out of that market. So I don't really know who's in the market for a goalie right now. Jake Allen, still miss him. Yeah, he was a good. He was a good Hab. I guess in the end, they misread Caden Primo, or they were like a little too optimistic about Caden. What a goal by Jake Evans. Are you kidding me? Was that Jake Evans or was that Brett Hull? Or who? What a snipe by Jake Evans. I don't feel like I've ever seen him do that. You like I went top corner. Unreal. Don't see don't see Evans doing that often, but hey, he missed Thursday's game. Everybody was saying that maybe he had a fractured foot. Renaud Lavoie was reporting that, but he's back tonight, and the Canadiens now have 7 shots on goal and 3 goals, and the first 10 minutes are but a distant memory. Jake Evans' fifth goal of the season, and Hudson gets an assist, and Joe Veleno, our favorite, gets an assist on that one. Well, here's that goal. I missed that one. So we have a delayed penalty on the Habs. So the Rangers have a very good opportunity here. There's 3 minutes left in the period. Hudson kind of got tangled with the guy in front of the net, and he goes off. So on Thursday, the Canadiens played against the best power play team in the league, and now tonight they're playing against a not very good power play team. The Rangers are not a very good offensive team in general. So we'll see what happens. They got 3:01 left in the period. Hudson. Well, pretty soon the Rangers announcer is going to have to call Cole Hudson very many times because that guy's going to be probably a very good player for the Washington Capitals very soon. Yeah, nice block by Kapanen, and that's dumped down the ice. Guys, Oliver Kapanen is a rookie, and he's already got 10 goals, and he's a pretty decent penalty killer, and he's actually not that bad on faceoffs. Where the hell? I know he almost, he made the club last year, got sent back to Sweden, but where the hell did this Oliver Kapanen come from? This guy's not right. I don't think he's riding Demitov's coattails at all. I mean, it helps to have a great guy like that passing to you, but Kapanen has been a very solid player. Very surprising. Xhekaj deserves it. The we all said it. He's been playing better. Shouldn't have been scratched on Thursday, and I'm very happy that I think, proved the coach wrong right away. Let's make the second 3-goal lead intact. Second is the tough one this year. Yeah, they're going to need this 3-goal lead the way that they've been playing in the second periods lately. Fowler doesn't have a stick again, but ooh. Oh, Jake Evans got he was on a breakaway shorthanded, but he got his stick kind of taken out just a little bit at the end. And that Xhekaj play where he couldn't clear results in a goal. Of course it does. It's 3-1. That's Laba. And there are two Habs there, and they kind of like try to Xhekaj and Matt. So Xhekaj comes back, and then Matheson has a chance to kind of chip the puck out, and then Xhekaj gets the puck at the same time. So Xhekaj just couldn't do no well. Could do no well there. Isn't Cappy finished? Yeah, but he played in the Swedish league last year. But he is finished. Yes. a part of the great Kapanen family of players. There's a penalty shot coming up. Wow. I mean, Panarin's got a clear chance at a shot. Dobson kind of tries to reach around him and gets tangled. Ay, ay, ay. Well, how about it, Jacob Fowler? You got this? He does not. Guys, I think tonight's game is going to be a bit of a barn burner because it is now 3-2. The Rangers scored 2 goals very quickly. Scored 2 goals in less than a minute. And it's just a 1-goal game headed into the dreaded second period. Ay, ay, ay. Cappy was born in Timrah. No, that can't be true, was he? He played for Timrah last year. I don't think he was born there. That seems wrong. I mean, nationally, Kapanen is Finnish. I can tell you that. He's Sami Kapanen's nephew. He's cousins with Kasperi Kapanen. He's Finnish. Brutal, 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 brutal. Yeah. Well, at least the dreaded 2-goal lead is gone. Can't blame Arber for that penalty shot, can we? No, we can't. I don't even know if I blame Dobson for it. I thought he played it pretty well. We've got a late penalty with 7.6 seconds left in the period. Canadiens are going to get their first power play of the night. One of those lovely truncated penalties where you lose a little bit of time because you can't set up anything in 7.6 seconds. I mean, you get one chance, right? In the 7.6, hey, you win the face-off. You got a chance. Take a shot though. Don't pass it. We good. This period is over. Give the live blog on the Gazette a couple of minutes to refresh, but the fresh goals should be up there shortly. Including the Artemi Panarin, the Artemi Panarin penalty shot goal. Drager said the Habs are looking for a bottom pairing D-man. Who do you think will be sitting? Be honest. I mean, it's gonna be Xhekaj Struble, no? It has to be. I would think. Those are the two guys that are in and out of the lineup. And I think the belief is probably going to be that if Carrier plays with a better partner, he'll be better. So I think that's what's going to happen. And then Engstrom can go back. I don't know if that bodes well or bodes ill for the return of Caden Gooley in a timely fashion. He's still out. Do you want to get some period stats in here? Okay, so high day scoring chances after the first period. The Canadiens have 8 scoring chances, 4 high danger chances, 10 scoring chances for the Rangers, 6 high danger chances. Forgot about you're not forced to be here, Bob. Don't worry about it. If you forget it, if you got something else on the go, it's all good. I'm always happy and delighted that you're here. But never feel obliged to be here, of course. But I do love that you're here. Thank you for joining. I don't care how many mistakes they make; they'll figure it out. This team is way too soft to sit them both. Yeah, it's funny when you say Darren Dreger is interested in a bottom pairing D-man. I think that bottom pairing D-man, if they acquire somebody, would have to bring the physicality that a Xhekaj could bring. I don't think you can bring in like a softy defenseman. I do think that'll make your defense too soft. I will say. So let's get some stuff in here. So high danger chances 6-4 Rangers. Next. We're gonna do all the little stats, the little stat things. Okay, and then the money puck deserve to win meter right now is about 71% Rangers win. I don't know how you guys feel about the simulations, but the 1,000 game simulations from Money Puck say that the Rangers have a 71% chance of winning here tonight. And then I told you guys I was going to go on Polymarket, but I'm not going to lie. I still don't fucking understand anything they're saying. What the hell is this? People are betting for the Habs. I guess Polymarket is saying 66% chance, but they say cents. I don't know. Okay, and then Polymarket says 66 Habs. But I don't super... I'm still a bit of a dum-dum on that one. I don't quite know if that's what they're telling me. But I think it's what they're telling me. 66%, I think people are betting on the Habs. Is that what... I think that's kind of what it is. Anyways. So there you go. One Money Puck says that this is the Rangers game to lose, and Polymarket says that this is the Habs games to lose. So there you go. Off the Habs for the sec. Scary situation in Alberta the other day. The Athabasca and Rivermen were returning home and the bus hit the black ice. Unfortunately, only 2 injured. Yeah, I can imagine. I saw that in the news, and obviously my first thought was about that other accident that happened many years ago where the team, most of the team died. Very dangerous. Always dangerous in this country. These trucks are going, these buses with all these, young men are going across some pretty treacherous roads, icy roads. Everybody, I want y'all to be, if you guys are in Canada, be very careful this winter. I was even just driving from downtown Montreal to Côte Saint Luc last night, and it was snowing and it was very icy, and I drove so slowly. Got to be careful. Even if you got the winter tires on, even if you got the truck, with the treads. Like, be very careful driving this winter, please, especially in the holidays. Lots of people out there, lots of tired people driving out there. I mean, really, how many rushing defensemen does the team need, for Christ's sake? Somebody's got to play defense and hit. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, Max. I think that's why they have to keep Xhekaj around. But I also think that if they acquire somebody, it has to be somebody physical. I will say that I think Ryan Becker's not like a crazy. He's not like gonna bulldoze people, but he's got more of a physical edge because he plays a little bit like Dobson, but he's got more of a physical edge than Dobson. We'll see how that goes in the pro, but I've seen him lay some nice hits that I've never seen Dobson do. But they have a similar sort of skating passing ability. Matheson is much to blame as Xhekaj. Yeah, totally. Those guys were both miss the man in that slot. Did somebody see Heineman score the shootout winner this afternoon? I did not. He's playing well for the Habs. He started off really hot, then he got slow, then he got kind of cold. Now he's hot again. Heineman is, but again, a missed player because he's a really strong forechecker, and the bottom six is just so depleted right now and so bad that Heineman on the bottom six right now would be amazing. By the way, bottom six on the Habs includes Carrier. I think Carrier's time is up when Reinbacher is finally ready to come in. And then you're going to see Ryan Carrier kind of get like phased out of the lineup. But until then, I don't think that they're going to play with only one natural right-handed defenseman is my inclination. New York, 58% faceoffs. Yo, this team, this is why I told you guys on Thursday, I think they should trade for Deno. I know Deno's not much of an offensive player anymore, but that guy can take some big faceoffs. But right now, they don't other than Suzuki and Evans, they don't have consistent faceoff guys, and they really could use a left-handed one. Dobson's been hot and cold. Generally offensive minded, can get pushed around. I like him, but I wish he'd play a little more physical, but it's not in his DNA. That is, I would say, the assessment I have of Dobson as well. I would also say that I consider him to be like elite with the puck and kind of a mess without the puck. So if the Canadiens are kind of like if they're pushing play, Dobson's an incredibly useful player. If they're like stuck in their zone, Dobson's an adventure. I see him needing to play with somebody who can. I think that's why it kind of worked with Matheson for a little while, because they actually both are like guys who push the play, and they were able to do that. But once those guys get stuck in their zone, neither of them are particularly good at getting it out. He tends to avoid the rough stuff. Why is he always letting guys get in behind him? I think he's just big. He has just big bad beats without the puck. I just feel like when he does have the puck, he's got a really good stick. He can get the puck back, but like body positioning, he's a mess. Dobson, it's just not his game. Madison tried to clear the loose puck at the same time as Xhekaj, and their sticks collided with each other. Yeah, that's what happened. It's kind of nuts. They both came back like messily and then didn't get it done. Arber Struble are a great pairing. They haven't played much together, but they are lethal. When did they last play together? I don't remember them being like a lethal pairing together. I understand how it could work like in theory, but I honestly don't recall this moment where we felt like they could do it, but I could be wrong. Dobson doesn't need to be physical because he has a great stick, though he has a great stick. Yeah, that's his game. His game is uses a stick to take the puck, and Reinbacher's going to come up and be kind of similar, but Rybacker's got more of an edge than Dobson. But those two guys in the lineup, I think, are going to delight and infuriate fans for years to come. But I think they're both pretty good. Eric, are you on tomorrow? I am not on tomorrow. I'm sorry. I have Sunday nights are always bad for me. Got family commitments. I will not be able to make tomorrow's game. I will be here on Tuesday though, and I'm a game time decision on Thursday. Thursday is going to depend a lot on like the whole Fowler situation and is it still like hot news basically. Unfortunately, I don't think it's possible because the live streams get like as you guys noticed, once the live stream is over, like the chat gets like archived and then but you can comment in the comments, I guess. I guess you could do that. I'll have to figure that out. I did get some updates on the comments though. They are working on bringing the comments back finally, so it could actually be really soon that that happens. But oh, I'll let you know when I know. But it seems like they're starting to move on that finally. Linebackers look really good these last couple weeks. Jumps into the play well and has a good shot. Yeah, I honestly thought that they had a wondered if they considered calling him up, if that was ever like in the cards. You guys are still happy about Dobson? Panarin, Lawton, Holmberg goals, absolutely worthless, always slow and behind. I don't know about that. The guy gets beat. Will tell you, I'll say that much, but I don't consider him to be slow and behind. He carries the puck a lot, so we see him make mistakes a lot, but I think more often than not, his game is pretty. He's pushing play and driving offense and collecting points and creating with the puck. But Dobson's not he's not a perfect player by any means, and time will tell if he's worth the 9.5 million they're paying him. I'm a little like distraught, not distraught, but I'm like a little bit like, oh, they're not playing him. Like Matheson's still the big minute guy, and I'm a little like, well, you're paying Dobson some pretty big money, and you're only kind of trusting him like 21 minutes a night. Like it's a bit. I'd like to see him be in a position where they trust him enough they can play him more, but I don't think it's a total. It's still early. Still early. I'm not overly happy with Dobson. Creates a lot of goals and turnovers for the money he gets. That's the thing, right? Like, is he going to be a 9.5 mil defenseman? And that I'm not so sure. But I'll leave it to you guys. Here, I'll just ask it. I'll just ask it. What letter grade are you guys giving Dobson so far? All right, we got some grades here. I love it. Grade 1. He's no Hudson. Not sure if that's a letter grade, though. We get 1A. Expected more from Dobson. We get a C minus. We get a B minus from Rick. We got a C here. B minus from Bob. C from Steven. And an O for overpaid from Max. Damn. All right, back for the second period here. And the Canadiens, as you might recall, are on the power play. Basically a full power play. They started with 153 of power play time. At 9.5 mil and the higher paid right now this team, he must be better. He's 100% responsible for the Panarin, Lawton, and Holmberg goals. Like I said, he is super slow. And we get a B minus from Karen. What a brutal pass from Suzuki to Hudson on the power play there. One extra pass for the Habs, and it sort of cost them pretty valuable time. Story of their season. And they literally do it again. Okay, now you guys, take a shot, please. Finally, Suzuki takes a shot, but it's from a very wide angle, and nice puck movement. I just wish for a better shot at the end. That's all. But you're right. They passed the puck well. Not on the first rush. First rush they didn't do so well, but the second one they did well. Anyways, I'd give Dobson a B so far. I thought he was really good the first like month and a half of the season, and now he's kind of like leveled off. But I think more often than not, I've been pretty happy with his play. But he's not. I will say that Dobson is not a prototypical number one defenseman. So I am a little like, okay, so you've invested a lot of money in Matheson, Hudson, and Dobson, all very solid defensemen. Is Hudson going to be the number one guy? Can he be the number one guy out of that group? I guess that's my question. Who's the number one guy out of that group? And is there a number one guy? Or is this going to be like a real committee defense? Which I don't think we've seen in very many teams, very many successful teams. Back to even strength here. Hudson with the zone entry here. Finds Anderson. What a one-timer. You don't see him one-timer like that very often. Hey, you guys don't. I don't see Josh Anderson hitting too many one times. That's how good Hudson is. Hudson is such a good passer. Even Josh Anderson can one-timer, one of those bad boys. I've almost never seen Josh Anderson hit a one-timer like that. And that's all Hudson. What a goal. What a perfect pass. And the Canadiens, I will say, have really needed bottom six offense. And we got a goal from Gallagher yesterday, and then tonight we got goals, or on Thursday, and then tonight we got Evans and Anderson goals. That's huge. This team has not been doing that lately. And Hudson's up to 21 assists. Suzuki's up to 28 assists. Unreal what they've been doing. Get his jersey out of the hamper, or keep it in the hamper. Wherever it is, it's good luck right now. Anderson works his butt off every game. Nice to see a result. That's the thing I think we all like. Now that Anderson is kind of reaching the tail end of his contract, his very, very long contract that he signed with the Habs. He's got a year left after this one. I feel like one of the things about Anderson is that we've all adjusted our perception of like the kind of player he is, and he's also adjusted his own perception. I think he was so obsessed with trying to score goals early on in his contract that his game was just like not very complete. And now I feel every night he realizes, oh, if I'm just skating and hitting and killing penalties, I'm gonna get enough scoring chances that'll be okay. So even if he like didn't become the sort of big 25 goal power horse that they wanted when they signed him to the deal, I still think he brings a lot to the lineup every night. And I like Josh Anderson. And he wants to be here and he's got like the family connections, so that contract was it was a lot when it was signed, and I think in the end the Habs can't be upset with what they got. You can nickel and dime that one, but yeah, you talking about the play in the corner there? Yeah, that was the Hab player definitely got hauled down. Same with Galley. No. I think if Gallagher is not scoring, he's not killing penalties and hitting guys like Josh Anderson is. I Galley gives a big effort every night, but if Gallagher is not scoring, he's a bit more of a hole in the lineup. And the thing about his contract is that Gallagher was very badly hurt for the first few years of the contract and provided like no value and didn't play a lot. And then he was quite good. I thought 2 years ago he started to like get better, and then last year I thought he had a good season. And then I was like, well, if that's how he plays the rest of the way, he's like, he's 20 goal scorer last year. I think that deal would be like, it wasn't a great deal, but it wasn't the worst. But now he's kind of lost a step again, and if this year and next year he can't turn it around, that'll be kind of like what 5 out of 6 years, 4 out of 6 years that he basically couldn't live up to the deal. So that one I'd be a little bit more like than Anderson's, where Anderson is like most people on another live blog, there are no such things as other live blogs, but they're calling that penalty shot a weak call, and I totally disagree. It was 100% a penalty shot. Yeah, what did you guys think? I also got a couple messages from some pals saying that they did not think that it was a worthy penalty shot, and I was a bit like, I feel like they always are going to call those on the breakaways, right? If if you impede the breakaway, they're always going to call it, and that's what happened. 57 assists for Hudson in the year 2025. Bit of a weird stat, but that's tied for the most. And considering the Habs still got a few more games in this calendar year, he will probably set the record for a Canadiens player. Not that anybody really talks about calendar year records, but it does go to show you just how good he's been. Check out Troy Stecher scoring his own goal tonight to tie it up. Is this the Leafs game? Where's Troy Stecher at these days? That guy bounces around. He's played pretty much everywhere but Montreal. Beck has to bring more tonight. Hit somebody, do something. I mean, he almost scored his first goal on Thursday. But, ooh. Not only did Will Cooley make it 4-3, the Ranger player just rammed right into Fowler. Bank shot by Cooley. That's probably the first weak one that... That's the first softie that I think Fowler's given up so far. Although, even that one, the puck went off the glass, the end boards, and he didn't really catch it. That being said, the Ranger player went into Fowler pretty hard. That didn't look like an accident to me. I don't know about you guys. Well, it's 4-3. Habs, I will say this. I think one of the reasons why they started off so well is because they didn't spend that much time in their own zone. With Matheson and Dobson and Hudson, they were so aggressive with their defense that they were able to, not spend that much time in the defensive zone. Now that they are spending time in the defensive zone, you see how not built for it they are. It's Friday. No, it's Saturday. You missed a whole day. What happened to your Friday? Did you time travel? No, I hear you. It's Saturday. All he had was a disallowed goal. Yeah, but that was Anderson's fault. It was disallowed. I thought he had a good shot on that one. Hudson didn't get it out. No, and then it went off the M boards. Oh my goodness, and now it's 4-4. Are you kidding me? And it's tied up. Unbelievable. JT Miller left alone right in front, and Fowler gives up, I think, his first regrettable rebound of his career. I mean, Matheson once again standing around. Caulfield standing around. I don't know where the other defenseman is. I don't see him. Oh, Carrier. Why is Carrier up high like that? What's the over-under? Take the over tonight. Oh my goodness. It is 4-4. They better settle down. This game is taking a turn in a hurry. Unreal. So that was 2 goals in 35 seconds. Well, like we were saying with the other goalies, there's not much that Fowler can do if he's getting hung out to dry. So what do you think? What do you guys think? Is Fowler getting hung out to dry by his defense tonight? Now it's showing we have a defense problem, not a goalie problem. Fowler, 73 save percentage. If it was Monty, you wanted a wild Saturday night, you got a wild Saturday night. Are these considered unanswered goals? I mean, well, if the Canes, I guess, could answer, right? Like if the Canadiens score next, I don't think any writer would say like, "Oh, the Rangers scored two unanswered goals, and then the Canadiens answered with a goal." I mean, an AI bot might do that. They might not know better. Oh, I like this one. Welcome to the NHL, Fowler. Looking totally confused in their own end. Yeah. Fowler's become a Habs goalie. The system never worked. Okay, so I think you guys we're all kind of on board here that this is a Habs thing. Oh yeah, I just watched the Troy Stetcher one. That is pretty funny actually. Whoops. Not sure he's at the point where Montembeau and Dobesh, but he needs to make a big save to keep the Rangers at 4. I mean, that's it, right? The Canadiens clearly have a big defense problem, and the defense isn't working. But at the end of the day, the goalie's got to make one big save to turn momentum around. Evans trying to feed Gallagher off the rush there, but the puck just deflected out of reach. Ooh, Xhekaj with some nice patience there. Really nice setup for Engstrom. That was a nice play by Xhekaj. Look at him responsibly get back to the point quickly. Hard to make a big save when the guys don't play defense. I mean, that's it, right? You leave JT Miller all alone wide in front. What do you think's going to happen? I'm calling for a scrap. Well, hey, Xhekaj's could be 2/3 of a way to a Gordie Howe hat trick if he does. Yeah, I noticed that too. He went down low, set up Engstrom in the high slot for that one timer, and then immediately went back to the point. It was nice to see. It was a nice play. I just feel like if Arber's doing a little more in the offensive zone, I find it just makes his whole game better. He's just sitting back. It just makes you more prone to making mistakes. He's actually got pretty good feet for a big guy. They should like let him use them. Oh, Trocheck hit the posts. Fowler had no clue where that one went. We're a post away from the first Ranger lead of the night. Texier gets dumped in the middle of the ice, and he slammed his stick in disgust. They're not calling anything right now. They're letting these guys play. All right, Texier with the zone entry. And look, Texier is getting surrounded by 4 guys in front of the net. But he's there. I know he's not the most physical guy in the world, but you know what? He was being a little bit of a pest there. Rangers have big fortune. The Habs just don't Man, and that's again where I think the loss of look at Texier taking a swipe at Trocheck. This is the most physical I've seen him so far. He's pissed. They did not call a penalty. Got wiped out in the middle of the ice, and he was pissed. Beck's pissed too. Trocheck's in their heads. Look, just another game where the Canadiens are playing against a team with. I don't even know if these teams have bigger forwards, but they just forecheck a little better. The Canadiens don't have a good forecheck. They need a couple more forechecking guys. Great comments about the defense, but that's 50%. You couldn't hang Dobesh and Monty game after game. This is the real team on ice, a system that doesn't work. I mean, that's it, right? Like, Montembeault and Dobesh were playing really badly, and they just had to try somebody else, but he's not curing what ails them. Watching those replays, I mean, you don't want the goalie to give up a bank shot, but there's definitely lots of chaos in front of the net. What could you do? And then yeah, the Miller goal. I mean, you can't leave a player that talented alone in front of the net with a rebound. So what do we got so far? We got nobody's minus on the Habs. Interesting. Oh yeah, the Demidov line is minus. Oh, we got two guys in the box. We're gonna have 4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes. Okay. Got some 4-on-4 hockey. You'd think the Canadiens would benefit from the open ice. Ooh, outside post from Caulfield, who kind of like did a little clutch move and then hit it off the inside post. Bring up Reinbacher. After Reinbacher, there's no more lifelines to save this inept system. Yeah, I don't think they're going to call up Reinbacher just yet. But again, yeah, I mean, is the system the whole thing, or is it the defense? Because now they're actually paying these guys quite a bit, right? Hudson contract kicks in. Matheson's new contract kicks in next year. You got Payne Dobson. Carrier makes a decent amount. Like, you can't just say that this is like a rebuilding defense core at this point. At this point, these are the guys you're paying. Gooley, when he comes back. Here, the Rangers have really picked up the physical aspect this period. They've got a bunch of like new guys on this. I mean, Will Kyle's like, or Cooley, I guess is how they pronounce it. Cooley like Gooley. Was totally a guy was like, nobody offer sheets anybody anymore. But I was like, man, if you could offer sheet a guy, that's the guy I would offer sheet. What a big nasty player that guy is, and he scored. I am 41 seconds behind according to NHL.com. It's not my fault. It's Sportsnet. But they all still very young, except for Matheson. Well, I mean, kind of. I mean, Carrier is not young. Dobson's not young. Dobson should be in his prime right about now. I mean, Gooley's getting there. Obviously, again, Gooley's not around. He has a nice hit by. That was a good hit by Xhekaj, and it caused a turnover. So I'll give him a little point for that one. Dobson is 25. Yeah, exactly. Dobson is 25 and on the beginning of a long-term deal. I don't think he's like do I think he's like the best he'll ever be right now? No, but 25 you're entering your prime. So, I expect him to not be so gaff prone, I would say. This year's been so competitive around the league. The rebuilding teams are getting better, and besides the Habs, the league is very close. And I think that's the important thing to keep in mind about the Habs, right? We sort of are like grumbling when they don't do so well, but they are still like in the thick of it. They're not a bad team. They're just like the way that I would say about the Habs, I think people are just like ready to see them take another step. And this year, compared to last year, it might not be the step that we were looking for. So I understand the disappointment that there is a little bit about the team. I don't think the Habs are bad, uh, but they also like haven't gone to the next level. Which that's not to say they won't. Just they haven't done it right now. Somebody has to take care of Noah Laba. Yeah, he was. They just have like all these guys, the Rangers that I like barely know, and on the bottom six, and they're just like a bunch of troublemakers. They're good though. It's becoming obvious our defense is a bigger problem than the goalies. It's 19-11 in shots right now for the Rangers, with 4:45 to play in the second period. And Canadiens have once again had a not good second period in a season full of them. The league is very close because of the loser point. Well, they all get them though. I do think there's quite a bit of parity though in the league still. It has nothing to do with Gooley missing. I think it has a little to do with Gooley missing, but they can't be so bad. Hey, nice little steal by Caulfield in the middle of the center of the ice there. Get the puck back in the zone. Yeah, what point is a young player not a young player? Like when you think about guys like Xhekaj and Struble, who, as Kelly points out, are in their fourth season, at what point are you who you are? I think I've heard a lot of people say that, experts say that, like, the first 200 or 300 games, you need like 300 games in your system. So these guys are starting to get to that level. Like, how much better are they really going to get? Or are they just not the guys? Canadiens will have to make that hard decision pretty soon on some players. Carey has been our worst defenseman the last month. Yeah, he's really not looked good. I don't understand what happened because he was quite good last season. A lot of people say the Tom Wilson hit hasn't been the same since then. It's potentially accurate. Gooley missing is a huge factor. Blue says the same. Gooley's key piece missing. Newhook also key piece on the forwards. But he has to stay healthy. God, I know. That's the other thing about Gooley. It's not even this injury. It's just the injuries in general. Demon take a lot longer than forwards. Sure, but still do got to cut bait with some of them at some point. I don't know what that point is. Rangers out shooting the Habs 8-4 in the second period. So this is another second period of not good play. Carrier tries to do everyone else's job and doesn't do his, caught out of position so often. I do think that the one thing that Gooley's injury, besides Gooley being out, really hurt is that it just messed up all the pairings. Like, I don't find Struble plays well with Hudson. Didn't find that Xhekaj and Carrier were a good pairing. And now they've, like, flipped things up again, and it did well against Pittsburgh. It's doing badly tonight. I just don't know without Gooley, like, what the ideal pairings are here. Slav looking a bit lax tonight. Yeah, he's not looking like Slav in the last few games. That whole line, I haven't seen much of them. The bottom six looks better tonight. Newhook's best season started this season. No bearing on the Habs. I mean, it's a big loss. Bottom six has been a disaster since Newhook, Doc, Line went down, and you basically lost a second line. Or a third line. Second or third line, depending on how you look at it. And we got a 3-on-2. Nah, guy got back. Final minute of play here. Canadiens get one more chance here. They're still in the zone. Carrier holding at the point. Gets it back to Matheson. You get one more shot here. No. One too many pass. Trying to find Gallagher in the slot. And that don't work. And we're going to let this... Oh! Carrick, we're going to get an offside, but man, Carrick with like 5 seconds left in the period tried to take Matheson's head off. The most useless attempt of a play ever, and he wiped out. And Matheson, what a beauty. That's a funny play. I love that. That's funny. Carrick just going for the big hit on Matheson and just totally missing. All right, we're done here. Second period over. That was all right. I put in the link for the game highlights if you guys want to watch the game highlights. You can watch the goals if you haven't had a chance yet. No big saves, no big fights yet, I will say. Eric, rumors persist of a trade for some sort of solid player. What is the no trade clause on Dobson? He's the one with some sort of value in a package. Well, they just traded for him literally like 4 months ago and then gave him the biggest contract in team history. I'm gonna say that it's pretty safe to say they are not gonna trade Noah Dobson. Full stop at all. He has a four, but if you wanted to know, starting next year, and it's curiously that it starts next year, so this year it doesn't apply. Starting next year, he does have a 14 team trade, no trade list. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think the guys that are locked in are pretty locked in. Like I'll tell you now, Suzuki's not getting traded. Caulfield's not getting traded. Slavkovsky's not getting traded. Demidov's not getting traded. Dobson, Matheson, Hudson are not getting traded. Fowler's not getting traded. And then I would say that everybody else, you never know. I don't think they're looking to trade any of these guys necessarily, but you never know with the other guys. Yeah, but you signed Arber to like a 1 year, $1.3 million deal. There's a difference between $9.5 million for 8 years and then $1.3 million. Big difference. I wonder if we see the same refs in the game against the Oilers as we did in that first game. Yeah, I hope. I don't remember which ref specifically did that game, but only 11 shots through 2 periods. We need to be better. If you guys read Pat Hickey yesterday, Pat Hickey, longtime hockey scribe for the Gazette. You know him, you love him. Pat Hickey wrote about how the Canadiens, he was like, hey, the Canadiens have looked pretty good this year, but the shots thing is gonna hold them back from being a great team if they don't get that sorted. I see Dobson before any of those names mentioned. No. No, they're not gonna trade Dobson. They'll trade Gooley before they trade Dobson. I'll tell you, if they're gonna trade a defenseman, they'll trade Gooley. They'll trade Arber Struble. Not that those guys have the same worth. They'll trade Engstrom. Engstrom's kind of a weird guy where I think to a team, they'll look at Engstrom and be like, this guy's a top 4 defenseman. And I think the Canadiens will look at Engstrom and be like, we can't have another kind of lanky, not physical defenseman in the top 4. So if somebody else thinks that Engstrom is a top 4, I very much think that he could be traded. Because I also don't think he's a prototypical like bottom pairing guy, but he's such a work in progress that my feed is so far behind. But I'm not. It's the what are you talking about? It's the intermission right now. You have to press live, by the way. You'll want to go into live. Sometimes when you do YouTube, it takes you like behind, so you have to press live to like make sure that you're getting the live. Because I'm it's the middle of the intermission, so I can tell you that nothing's happening. So if you see me talking about something else, then here it's the yeah. If you think I'm way behind, press live. When Arber first started rumors, we could get a first round pick. Hughes dropped the ball on that one. Well, he didn't drop the ball necessarily because he thinks that he might still think that Xhekaj could be a very good defenseman. Maybe not first round pick, but hell, Ben Sherratt got a first round pick once, and I think Xhekaj's got more game than Ben Sherratt did. But Ben Sherratt, again, Ben Sherratt was a guy who became good at like 25, 26. So Xhekaj still got time. Gooley had value. Again, to get a top tier player, you need trade value for value. The thing about Dobson is that the 9.5 million makes it hard for other teams to get him. Not because they don't think he's worth 9.5 million, but you ultimately have to trade a 9.5 million player. And then it's just hard to get the contracts to line up. Remind people to tap on likes. Tap on likes. That's true. I don't ever tell you guys to like subscribe and tap on like. I'm bad at self promotion, but tap on likes, like each other's things, like each other. Do all do all those things. A late first round pick for Sherratt, you mean? Hey, a first round pick's a first round pick. I know. So they're saying that Quinn Hughes wanted out in the summer. So, not a shocker. Let's go after Tage Thompson in Buffalo. Man, Buffalo would be completely stupid to get rid of him, but Buffalo has already gotten rid of Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, so many guys. So many guys. If they're willing to get rid of Tage Thompson, the Canadiens should be all over that. And that becomes a player that you might have to give. That's a player that you'll probably have to give up something pretty elite for him. They would ask for Slavkovsky. Would you trade Slavkovsky for Tage Thompson? I don't think I would. But that's probably what it would take. They're going to ask for. The thing is that I'm sure it's super predictable. I'm sure that the Canadiens call up other GMs, and then the GMs are like, "Yeah, sure, just give me Demidov, just give me Reinbacher." Would you trade Tage Thompson for a package like a Reinbacher package? They wouldn't take that probably. They would ask for a lot more than that, but I don't know. I think they're at the point with the defense where I think they would. Reinbacher is becoming pretty close to an untouchable just because they need a defenseman. Buffalo acts as the NHL farm team. Yeah. As a former Expo fan, I feel what it's like to be the crappiest market in your league. Poor Buffalo. Poor Buffalonians. Poor Canucks fans. Nope. Vancouver seems toxic. They are. There's a reason why Canadian teams haven't won the Stanley Cup since the Habs in '93. And I think one of the big reasons for that is because it's very hard for these Canadian teams to accept when they need to rebuild. And the Canadians were like that for so long. I mean, the whole 10 years of Bergevin was that, right? It was always like this kind of reset. And they just never got very good. I think it's the exact same issue that Vancouver and Calgary and Edmonton. Well, Edmonton, they finally had no choice and they rebuilt. But Calgary and Vancouver to me are that problem to a T. Haven't been able to they just don't want to rebuild. They want to sell the tickets and try to make the playoffs every year. Elliot Friedman says there's a lot of noise in Buffalo. Thanks. Real helpful news here. Yes, I saw this. The Pens were up 5-1 over the Sharks 5 minutes into the third, lost 6-5. Some guy named Tyler Toffoli scored twice for San Jose. Man, Habs fans are going to feel a type of way if Anaheim, Chicago, San Jose like really leapfrog them on the rebuild, because the thing that those teams had is they really got like transformational players with their lottery picks. Like, could you imagine? Don't imagine. It'll just make you feel like shit. Don't imagine if the Habs had Macklin Celebrini right now. It was not to be. It was not meant to be. So don't even think about it. But yeah. And then ditto, obviously, Connor Bedard and what was the other team that I was talking about? Anaheim with Leo Carlson and Bennett Seneke looking like a good one. Anaheim's going to look pretty good for. We were all pretty harsh on them for drafting Seneke over Demidov, and I still think Demidov's an incredible player, but Bennett Seneke is no fluke either. Columbus are going to be the ones that are going to really end up with scrambled eggs on their face for drafting Lindstrom, just because Lindstrom's not healthy, bouncing around. He's in college now, I guess. I don't know. I don't think he's moving the way they were hoping he'd moving. Toronto media was billing this game as McDavid versus Matthews. Did you guys see that Mike Johnson for TSN on Overdrive said that Matthews has not only no longer in that conversation of elite players with McDavid and McKinnon, he said that Matthews is below the Nick Suzuki, like one level below elite level. He was hard on Austin Matthews. Toronto fans are saying since the shoulder injury, Matthews has not been the same. What do you guys think? Do you think Matthews is just like, is he toast? Is his days as an elite player over? I'm not saying he's not a good player, but is he just not the elite guy, that the $15 million a year guy that he was 2 years ago? He'll be going back down to expectations. I mean, he's been a minor league bounce around guy for a couple of years now. Anything that he brings them is better than expectations. That's why I switched to American feed. I couldn't take the crud on Matthews. Yeah, just like, I don't know if the hype is. I don't know if the hype is still there. If they're trying to sell Matthews as an elite player, I don't know. I don't know if he is anymore. He also had shoulder surgery, so like, we saw how long it took for Caulfield to get right. He could still get right. The Pens got hit by lightning twice, Lemieux and Crosby. Yeah, and some people were coming in saying, "Oh, they're gonna get McKenna." But now, not only is McKenna not even projected as a first overall pick anymore, if you read The Athletic this week, but Pens are good, so they're not even gonna get him. I guess it's gonna be what, like Calgary? Is Calgary gonna get McKenna? Vancouver? Those teams deserve a. The teams don't. The markets do. The fans do. They deserve something to be happy about. Matthews isn't a 70-goal player anymore. Yeah, that's, I think. But then is the rest of his game like enough if he's just like a 40-goal guy? I guess so. He's a good two-way player. Sid Cicero called out Matthews 2 years ago and got fired for that. Is that why he got fired? Calling out Matthews? That does seem like the kind of petty thing that would happen in Toronto. Matthews is really missing Marner. They might have gotten rid of the wrong player. Matthews wants to go play in the States. He doesn't like Toronto. Well, I keep signing there, so can't hate it that much. Matthews, too much money makes one soft. Sad to say. Okay, you guys feel a type of way about Matthews. I feel the same way. Honestly, the big moment for me with Matthews was the Four Nations final. I thought everybody got up for that game except for him. Even Marner. Even Marner was amazing in that Four Nation Cup final. I mean, he assisted on the winning goal. And I just feel like Matthews was a total pushover that game. I feel like he didn't meet the moment, which there's nothing worse if you're like a captain and a leader and you don't meet the moment. Yes, he got fired from Breakfast TV. Damn. Damn, Sid. Telling it like it is. Well, I hope I don't get fired for my opinions on Austin Matthews. I didn't even give my opinions. I gave Mike Johnson opinions, and Mike Johnson's more of an expert than I'll ever be. And then I just said what you guys said about Matthews. So don't narc me out to the powers that be in Toronto. No, I'm kidding. Nobody cares. It's all good. Sid called Matthews the most selfish player in Leafs history. That's awesome. That's hilarious. People don't call out players like that anymore. When was the last time a Habs player got ripped like that? I can't remember the last time like a Habs player really was just like got the this guy's a total bum treatment. Oilers offense looks scary. It always does. That's not the issue with Edmonton, unfortunately for them. But hey, that team's made the finals what 2 years in a row now, so they're close. I'm sick of the young team horseshit, and so is Marty by the sounds of it. Max, at some point, this team is going to have to turn that right. You're right. They're going to have to at some point. At some point, they're not a young team anymore. I feel like the Leafs got that treatment for a long time. Oh, one day Matthews is going to be, one day they're going to win a cup. One day they're going to win a cup. And now Matthews is on the downswing of his career and Marner's gone. The Canadiens absolutely have to watch out for that. That the window is like smaller than you think. So it's the Canadiens are a young team, definitely, but they will be an old team real fast if they don't watch out. Mike Hoffman. Mike Hoffman was a really, really insane contract from Marc Bergevin. He did Mike Hoffman. The whole story with Mike Hoffman was he wanted to go back to St. Louis, didn't really want to come here, and Marc Bergevin was just like, "We'll give you whatever you want. Please come here." And he was like, "What? Like, all right, whatever. I'll take the money." But like that was a match made in I don't know what. Hoffman was a guy that no one else wanted. He wanted to go somewhere else. They didn't want him back. Bergevin, for some reason, I mean Bergevin with the unrestricted free agents, man. Scott Gomez. Scott Gomez got big time ripped. That's might be the last one. Thought he was great his first season here, and then fell off real fast. And I don't know why he did, but he did. David Desharnais. He was so much, but he was an undrafted 5'6" center. They got more value out of him than they ever should have gotten. You're right that people were like, he's not a real number one center, but it's like, of course not. He never should have been. But it's not his fault. Bergevin couldn't get anyone better. But he was way better than any he should have been, you know? Edmonton can beat you 10-8. Now that's fun hockey. Well, it's 4-4 in this game, and the third period is underway. We'll see how it goes. So Rangers winning the high danger chances. Polymarket has 55%. I guess humans are voting for the Rangers. 55%. And then Money Puck has the Rangers at winning 50%, 57%. Yeah, nice little play by Texier on the boards. Kick the puck to the middle of the ice to create a chance for the Habs in the neutral zone, like to cause a zone entry. Texier is interesting. He's not we've all said it. He's not a physical guy, but he's kind of like he's got a bit of a streak to him, like a little bit of a I don't know, like a little bit of a chippy streak to him, I'd say. What do you guys think? Bob says 20 shots this game. Well, the Habs hit 20. They got 11 so far. So they need 9 shots in the next 17 minutes, assuming this game doesn't go to overtime. Really nice play by Veleno to find Gallagher near the hash marks. He got a nice shot off on the Rangers there. It's the France-born attitude with Big Tex. Yeah, he's not like a physical guy, but he's like kind of chippy. I like it. I don't know. I like what I've seen from him so far. I don't know if he'll survive when everybody's healthy. I don't think there'll be a chair for him when everybody's healthy, but as like a new hook surrogate, he hasn't been too bad. Is it a curse on Fowler if we say he'll shut out the Rangers the rest of the game? No. No, the curse doesn't work that way. The only curse only works if they have a shutout going. Unless somebody tells me otherwise. Cocky, that's the word I was looking for. He's got a cockiness about him. The Rangers get their first lead of the night. Does Fowler think Fowler's saying that it's kicked in that Carrick did not score legally? Hold on a second. Okay, referees. What do you guys think? No goal. No goal. No goal. No goal. Yeah. Fowler knew it right away. Yep, there you go. That's a kick in. No goal. Still 4-4. On relax. Still a bad play by the Habs, though. See, isn't that to me is why that's why Engstrom to me is like I don't know if he's got room in this defense because I think he's a really talented defenseman, and I think with like top 4 minutes on a more physical with a more physical pairing, he'll be really good. He'll be the good puck mover, but I don't know if he's got the physicality to be like a good bottom pairing guy, which he might be in Montreal. So I don't. That's why I see Engstrom being a good trade piece because I don't know where he fits on this defense. We need to tighten up in our ends is the understatement of the century. Not a good defensive performance tonight by the Habs. Yet again. Gallagher blows in outside. Now the Habs are settling. Oh! Veleno with a nice attempt to center to Gallagher, but he didn't quite get it. Interesting seeing like Sam Carrick and Connor Sheary, these like journeyman guys, find a new lease on life tonight. They look good tonight, but like Connor Sheary, man, he was in Tampa last year and he couldn't like hack it on that team. So interesting to see them like come back around and play well for the Rangers. Trocheck off the post from the slot. How do you let him get a shot off like that? You were there. You were on. They were on his man, but crazy. Again, Rangers just able to clear the zone a little faster than the Habs are. Panarin took it up the ice and took a nice, tricky shot on Fowler. How about it? Demidov on the entry. Drops it back for Slavkovsky. And again, immediately turned the puck over without getting a shot. And now it's back the other way. All right, we got a puck in the netting. A little bit of end-to-end hockey there. Time winding down. It's 4-4. There's 11:37 to go. Rangers thought they took the lead off Sam Carrick, but nope, it was kicked in. Engstrom's struggling a little bit. He's not quite ready. Is it because he doesn't? I don't know. I mean, he's young. Maybe he's just not ready. Does Gordon go for Panarin to play with Demidov this year? The, at the beginning of the season, I'm gonna say this. At the beginning of the season, on the first live blog, the Crosby hype was like full steam. George Larac was talking about Crosby, and I said that I thought that Panarin was the veteran most likely to come to Montreal, and I still think so. I still think that's the case. I still don't think he wants to go back to New York, but I'm not convinced. It depends on where New York lands. If they're still a good team, they're going to want to keep him. And then, New York is New York. I don't think guys like to leave New York. I feel like he doesn't really want to be on the Rangers anymore, but New York's New York. Yeah, here. Engstrom is not a physical player. Big, not physical like Dobson Matheson. This I totally agree. And that's why I think Engstrom's a good trade piece. Because that type of defenseman is super useful and people want them. But you can't have too many of them. Just like you can't have too many small forwards. Just like you can't have too many like big bruising guys who can't score. Like the team has to be balanced. And I feel like Engstrom doesn't have a natural spot. Or like as Marty St. Louis likes to say, chairs. He doesn't have a good chair. He doesn't have his chair. So I do think that he's a guy to trade. Artemi Panarin is 34 years old. That's true, Max. But the thing about Panarin is he's a free agent at the end of the season, and he'll only cost you money. They don't have to like use draft picks or spit or like trade to get him. The problem is it sounds like Panarin wants big cash, sure, but again, because he's 34, you're not going to be locked into the guy until he's like 45. Maybe you can get him on a 4-year deal. And yes, you got to pay him a lot, but like you don't get the long-term commitments. I don't know if any of this is true. It might not be the case, but I think that's a possibility. And I do think that Panarin is the type of player that they would want on the second line. And of course, Panarin possibly was almost a Canadian once. Marc Bergevin certainly wanted him. Again, another offensive zone rush kind of thwarted. Engstrom's struggle is what Arber, Struble are going through, trying to play someone else's style of hockey. Not even Dobson and Mike have adapted to this system. They just play better. Yeah, I mean, is that true? Are these guys just like, is nobody on the defense living up to their potential right now? You think? It's possible. It's possible they don't have the right personnel for the type of defense they want to play. And then they got to decide, should we play a style that best fits what we have, or should we get players that fit that style? Starting to think Beck might be staying. He's certainly got an opportunity here. I don't think Veleno, other than being left-handed, I don't think Veleno's got much of an advantage over him. Sounds like 85% of the league. What, guys like struggling to play in a system, you mean, or? All right, we got 10 minutes left in the third period. Shots 22-13. So, Bob, your prediction of 20 shots for the Habs, or if they would make 20 shots, not looking good. Not looking good. They got 2 shots this period. And there's 10 minutes to play. Still 4-4. Hey, Xhekaj just took out Laba into the board. Who was talking earlier about taking out Laba? Laba just got taken out big time by Xhekaj. That was a nice hit. Yeah, the trainer's having a look at Laba. That's how bad that hit was. I put the blame on Marty, who wanted and got control of defense last season. Oh, sorry, Blue. Sorry, I missed this comment by Bob. Hold on. Mrs. Bob comment. After 30 games this season, I think we have a young, entertaining team that's learning to find consistency. Our defensive play needs improvement, and we need to shoot more and hit the net. Oh, yes. That I missed that comment. I agree. I agree completely. Boom. Big boy hit by Xhekaj on Laba. Well, what do you guys think of Xhekaj's play tonight? What do you think? Do you think Xhekaj earned himself another game tomorrow? Is he going to play on Sunday? Do you think Engstrom? I think maybe Engstrom might get sat tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe we will see this mythic Struble Xhekaj pairing. Here we got. He's been steady. I like it. Xhekaj with a solid hit on Laba. Yeah, that's why I was asking. He's playing very good and being very physical. Karen says, I've seen at least 2 trips on the boys not called. Yeah, we saw one in the corner that was a little suspect in the second period, but they've put the whistles away now. We have not had a penalty since 12, since the 2 roughing matching calls to Borgen and Owen Beck at 12:24 the second period. We have not had a penalty in this game. The refs have definitely like put the whistles away tonight. I can't say we've seen anything too egregious. So I'm like not so bad about that one. Oh, that was a nice try to Kapanen on a pass from Demidov off the rush. Max says he's liked his game tonight. Rick, he'll be benched tomorrow. Ugh, I hope not. I hope not. I hope they give him some consistency here. I think Engstrom should be the one scratched tomorrow. I don't know if I don't think I've liked what I've seen from Engstrom tonight. I was gonna say Dobson's stick snap, just like Nyland was talking about the other day. Last year, early on, people blamed the system as well. Then crickets after the Habs went on run made the playoffs. But didn't they simplify the system? Wasn't that the whole thing? Bobby Russo's family attends. Oh, that's nice. Well, my condolences to the Russo family, of course. Oh, Suzuki with a one-timer missed it by a mile. And then it leads to like the puck leaving the zone again. Like this is how many missed nets? Like not only do they not shoot enough, but they also miss the net a lot, leading to a lot of clearing of the zones. They really have struggled to set up in the offensive zone tonight. It's been bad. Look at Josh Anderson. Nice play behind the net, and then he kind of saucers a backhand to Beck, and Beck can't handle it at all. And that's going to be a hand pass. Oilers are tomorrow's game. I would not be surprised if Struble is in for Xhekaj. That's true. We do have to think about who they're playing. Late on Laba. 5-0 Winnipeg against Washington tonight. Didn't Connor Hellebuyck come back? Is this his first game back? You can imagine they've been missing him. Even the Rangers uniforms that were the much maligned white lettering on the Rangers uniforms look good. I'm not watching on 4K tonight. I have like I have a different setup when I'm doing the live streams. That going to be icing? That's going to be an icing call with 5:57 to go, and the third period is still 4-4 Montreal, New York. Shots are 23-13 for the Rangers. So Fowler's made 19 saves tonight. Shesterkin has made 9 saves tonight. Shesterkin, I don't think Shesterkin's had a bad game, but I guess Fowler's made 20 saves, right? They don't count the penalty shot. Does that count as a... No, the penalty shot does count as a shot. It's not like shootouts. Disagree about the system that Carrier, Matheson, Dobson, Hudson should adapt instantly. Yeah, the system that they're developing that they're using is not this like kind of combined man to man with a little bit of zone is not rocket science. It's like it shouldn't be that hard, really. But I don't know. Wolf. Panarin with a kind of a really quick shot out of nowhere, and Dobson really had to, or Fowler really had to stretch out the pad to make the save. You can see the numbers on both uniforms. With so many teams, you can't read the numbers. That's very true. The white lettering on the Rangers makes it very easy to see the numbers. And these Habs jerseys, you see the numbers very easily. And I'm not even on 4K tonight, and I can see them all. Should we play for the loser point, or should we go all out? I mean, it's funny you mentioned this because there's been a record number of overtime games this season across the league. And I think it is 100% because teams at a certain point do go for the 1 point. And like teams will, I think, not mutually decide, but they'll both play a protective style to get the point and move on. I know Max earlier was talking about sort of parity because of the single point, and this is kind of where that comes in. The teams won't try to they won't try to make a mistake at this point of the game, basically. It's funny because the Rockets used the same system under a new coach, and they played a lot better and still playing great with their plays up in Montreal. Well, maybe the defensemen that they have are very good for AHL and not quite NHL. I don't know. Ryan says go for the point, then win it in OT. I would like their chances in OT actually quite a bit. Panarin might say otherwise, but they are a slower team than the Habs, I'd say. Although the defense has been good tonight. I like moving the puck quickly. Remember Howard Ballard put blue names on the blue sweaters? He would do that. He would do that. Anyways, it's 3:19 to go. So it definitely looks like at this point, I'm sure both teams are going to try to just get to overtime. It is, by the way, earlier we were saying that the Canadiens were losing the faceoff battle, and they were, but it is now tied. It is now tied in faceoffs. They're both 21 for 42 in the dot. And the Rangers have more hits. They got 29 hits compared to the Habs, who've got 21. Interesting point by Gary Galley that the Canadiens, as the ones who blew the lead, I think would have more to gain by getting into overtime. He didn't say it as eloquently as that because he's Gary Galley, but that was certainly what he was implying, and I'll certainly infer that from his comment. But I do agree that as a team that blew the lead, the Canadiens ought to be more sensible here and not kick a gift horse in the mouth if they can get a point. And I know, I'm sure you guys are all feeling a type of way about the Veleno line being out with 2:50 to go. I mean, right now the puck's just Veleno is just pinned to the boards of the puck. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he can do. Probably better than him trying to score. There you go. Anderson gets it deep and we get a line change. So it's 2:22. The Habs can put their top line out here, which they did. All right, there you go. So Slavkovsky in the neutral zone with the pass to Suzuki that allows him to come in on the rush with a lot of speed, and he's able to shoot one low on Shesterkin. Very nice pass. Not a great shot, though. I mean, Shesterkin's also really good, and he's just good at coming out and cutting the angle down, which he did. It was a good. I shouldn't say it was a bad shot. It was a good shot. Just Shesterkin's too good to let something like that in. At least get the point, sit back and protect, but it's not always the right strategy. Yeah, you don't want to play Jacques Martin sit back, which was just like pray. Don't touch the puck and pray. Both teams would take a point. It's been a sloppy game. Man, I thought Suzuki had a clever play there. He was going to kind of bank the puck, but he ended up ricocheting and then really clearing. So it's the Canadiens iced the puck with 112 left, and they went for a line change as it happened, and the officials are like, no, 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 get back out here. So what are the Canadiens? So now Suzuki, Carrier, Madison, Slavkovsky have been out for over a minute, and the Rangers win the draw. This is not where you want to be. And the Rangers are wisely just trying to shoot the puck through traffic. Why didn't St. Louis call a timeout? I would have if I were him. But it's not me. But I would have called a timeout to ensure that something like this doesn't happen. Because now the guys have been out there a while. Zibanejad just getting manhandled by Hudson. Hudson making some moves on the zone entry. Jake Evans behind the net. There's 19 seconds to go, so can they get a shot off? Yeah, Dobson's got some room. Dobson doesn't. Why did he try to make a shot there? Why is Dobson trying to get like a deflection at this point? You got 12 seconds. Just rip it. I get what he's trying to do there, but that's like a little too fancy for 12 seconds left in the game, I think. I mean, they're sending Veleno Evans out, maybe? No, those guys are going back in. Anyways, 12 seconds. Oh, you can't call a timeout on the icing. That's right. Well, now they're calling the timeout. There's 12 seconds left and they call a timeout. Yeah, Fowler doesn't. I mean, he had a rougher night tonight than last game, but I wouldn't say he seemed like particularly phased by it all. Oof, clean face-off win by JT Miller, and that's going to be that. Can they get to? Can the Rangers get one more chance here? Nope. Going to overtime. Yeah, Nick was awful in the dot against the Pens. He was good tonight, but he did lose that face-off. All right, this game's going to overtime. What do you guys think's going to happen here? I mean, that's it, right? You got a point against a conference rival. If you get an extra point, great. If you don't, it's not the end of the world, but so where are we landing on the deserve to win meter? 68.5% or so. For the Rangers, how about Polymarket? Polymarket's 54% Rangers. And then Natural Stat Trick, what do you got for us? 11-3 high danger chances tonight for the Rangers. So the Rangers, looks like the Rangers had the better night, but hey, it's 4-4. And I always like the Habs' chances in overtime. This is where their youth, I think, can help them. That being said, JT Miller and Panarin are pretty annoying guys in overtime for sure. They could score. So we got Hudson, Suzuki, Caulfield out there on 3-on-3. Rangers are 3-4 in overtime. Habs are 5-1. Ooh, Gavrikov and Trocheck with the nice give and go. Didn't work. And now the Habs get a chance to move up ice. Hudson with a ton of speed, but he's not going to be able to find anybody. Gets it back to Suzuki. And the Habs got some room in the zone here. They're going to give it a try. They're not going to double back. Yeah, Panarin's locked in on. Woof. Suzuki Caulfield with a really nice move, dancing around his guy, but he missed the shot wide. Breakaway for Robertson. And now we go to the other end. Kapanen missed the nets on the breakaway. Oh. And he gets appended, and then we're going to have a 3-on-2. Penalty coming up to the Habs in overtime. We got a delayed call here. I mean, the Rangers are content to wait till 2 minutes left because then they can basically spend the rest of overtime on the man advantage. Can the Habs get the puck? They can't get the puck. Oh, there you go. I mean, you had to take it, right? You don't have much of a choice there. That'll be a slashing call on Jake Evans. Not a player that you want to have in the penalty box when you've got a big penalty to kill, but I think you're going to see a lot of Nick Suzuki for the next 2 minutes. That's for sure. And the Rangers take their timeout. I mean, Marty's not looking too happy on the bench here, guys. I mean, it was 3-0. It was 3-0, and now it's 4-4. And the Rangers got an overtime. They get a power play in overtime to try to end this. This did not this game started out with a lot of promise, and now the Habs are. So how do you look at it? Do you look at it, well, the Habs are going to escape with a point here, or do you look at it like, yo, they might have blown a three nothing lead here and lost the game on Saturday night? I guess you tell me how you feel, how you're feeling about that. Oof, got some big guns out tonight. JT Miller, Trocheck, Panarin. Is Zibanejad the fourth guy? Is it just all forwards? It is indeed all forwards. Four forwards for the Rangers on the power play. What a save by Fowler. Very nice. That wasn't like a complicated save, but you know what? Just staying square. That's a good one. Why is Carey on the ice? Because they don't trust Xhekaj to kill penalties, and then Engstrom's not going to kill penalties. So they're going to have Carey out for a little bit, and then like Dobson. Yeah, it's going to be Madison, Carrier, and then Dobson. Like Hudson's not going to kill penalties. So maybe he should. I mean, overtime he might. That's it. It's over. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's that. JT Miller ends it in overtime, everybody. Thanks, y'all, for joining. Please do check out the live blog on the Gazette website. You can watch all the highlights. I'll also include, of course, the comments of the night. You guys can check that out. You guys can also check out Hockey Inside Out. We had a great episode this week where we talked about Fowler. Got a great third episode today about stick shatterings. Dobson had a pretty bad stick shatter today. And yeah, so the Habs play tomorrow. I won't be in tomorrow, but I will be in on Tuesday. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. And yeah, we'll do a little last call here. You guys can let me know your thoughts, and yeah, everybody have a good weekend. Should have been a win tonight, up 3-0. Entertaining, but still a tough loss after 3-0 lead. Should have put Caulfield on. If I don't read the rest of that, you're gonna misinterpret what you said. If you watch other games, it's a regular occurrence this year. Yeah, but he's still blowing a 3-0 lead. Still not good. 3 out of 4 on the road. We'll take it any day of the week. Yeah, that's true. Got a thanks from Karen. Thank you, Karen. Thanks for joining. You enjoyed? Thank you so much for enjoying. You stick your knee out on Cap and a no call, but a weak slash by Evans called. Yeah, eh? They kind of didn't call that other one, eh? We got outplayed. The early lead wasn't reflective of the play. That is pretty accurate. It was, remember, they didn't get a shot for the first 10 minutes of the game, and then they scored on their first 2 shots. Check out the stats on comebacks. Down 2 goals this year. It's a regular occurrence around the league. Yeah, I know, but that's not a good, that doesn't mean a good, it's not a good thing for the team. I guess you could say that leads are less safe than they used to be, which is great for the viewer because it's fun to watch lead changes, but it's still not a good thing that they blew a 3-0 lead, right? Always a good time watching with company. Always a good time to have you guys as company. It's always a lot of fun to do this. The Sens and Leafs lost, so they're not very fucking good, those two teams. So Habs are in good shape with those ones too. The savior label used by some, denied by others, is irrelevant. After a second game, Fowler's average and save percentage equals Monty and Dobish. Time to realize the Habs goalies aren't as bad as its defensive system. Engaging game. Good night, all. Thanks for joining. Carey is the only defenseman who won't rush and get caught out of position. It's kind of a problem. Yeah, that is a problem. And Carey hasn't been playing that well at all. So if he's the guy you're counting on, not a great. Always great when you host this group of true Habs fans. There was an Ottawa fan earlier, or not an Ottawa fan. There was a Rangers fan earlier. Where did he go? Is he happy? Rangers fan, are you happy? Are you here? Let us know if you're happy about the result tonight. No goalie can solve the Habs problem. We suck defensively. They do suck at the moment defensively. That is fair. Please just hold a lead. Yeah, they not a good look so far. Blowing a 3-goal lead. Blowing a 3-goal lead's never good. And then a 4-1 lead. Things seemed like they were going to go the Habs' way tonight, and they just let the Rangers hang around. And then when Evans got that penalty in overtime, you kind of saw what was coming. Rangers came out with 4 forwards. They weren't fucking around, and that's how it ended, man. 5-4. Jacob Fowler falls to 1-1 in his very short NHL career. Can I get you his end game stats here if you guys are interested? Jacob Fowler ends the game with 21 saves on 26 shots. Of course, he gave up a penalty shot to Artemi Panarin. So he has an 808 save percentage in the game. So not great. But I don't think anyone here is pinning it on him. So I'll give him that much. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Calling it a night. About last night, MontrealGazette.com coming up later. Hitting game with Herb Zukowski, I believe, coming up later. I know he's got a night off coming up. It might be tonight, but if not, it'll be on the website. And Hockey Inside Out, new episode next Wednesday. And we got 4 fresh episodes this week. So please check them out. Have a good one, y'all.